I have had a lovely creative afternoon and I have made something beautiful which I would like to share with you. I don't know if you've seen on the internet, but a lot of people have been making their glossy boxes into something a little bit more useful, and I decided I wanted to do that as well because my glossy boxes have built right up and I have a lot of spare glossy boxes at the moment, almost 2 years worth. So yes, I decided I wanted to make something really nice with them. And I decided to go with a really nice set of drawers that a lot of people have been making on the internet. I had a little search today and I found a lovely blog that was called My World. I'll put the link below so you can have a look at it yourself. The girl on the blog My World made her own set of little drawers and I have made mine. Mine is slightly different because I decided to cover it in pretty fabric. The girl on My World had hers plain, which looked really, really nice, but I just decided, because I like everything to be flowery, that I needed to put some material on it as well. So here is mine. So that's the front of it, and the side and the other side. Back is a little bit more messy, but no one's going to see that. And then inside you've got the drawers, which look like that. You've got the lovely glossy box pattern inside. So I'm going to keep my makeup in these because I've got also a lot of glossy box samples now that need a lovely new home. So this is perfect for it. The girl on the blog had hers this way up so that she had a little compartment to put things in. But I've decided I'm probably going to keep mine this way round because I really like the material I've used on it. And I think it's more noticeable if it's this way round. So I'm going to show you how to make these. Okay, so all you need to make your very own glossy box set of drawers is 3 glossy boxes and 4 lids. And then you need a really nice, if you want to cover it in material, you don't have to, a really nice material of your choosing. This is from an old dress. I really like the material on it, so now I get to keep the material forever. And then I've got the glossy box bows that come in the boxes every month, and 3 little buttons that I've decided to put on the bows as well. So, are you ready? Okay, so you've got your 4 lids first, and what we're first going to do is make the sides of the drawer. So to make those, we need 2 lids. Mine are both in different colours, but you're not going to see them in the end if you are going to cover them in fabric. If you're not going to cover them in fabric, then it's probably best to go for something matching. First of all, with a pair of scissors, I'm going to snip 2 of the corners. They're really hard to cut, but I will get there. I will. There we go. And the other corner. So obviously we're doing this lengthways. So we just want to snip off this front side of one of the lids. So I'll cut this other corner, and then you can just fold it open like that and cut down there. Sorry, because I have a webcam and not a proper camera, it's probably going to be quite hard to do this tutorial, but I hope you understand what I mean. So I'm just going to cut down this side and remove that flap. So we'll just cut all the way up. There we go. And it's quite good because they break quite easily as well. And let me just move the other side. There we go. So that is 1 done. So we need 2 like that. Okay, so now we have 2 lids that are missing the sides. And there they are. We just need to do 1 more lid. So let me just get down to it. So this lid needs to just have the flat piece in the middle and not any of the sides. So you just need to cut all the sides off this time. So let me just see. It's quite handy because some of the sides you can just rip apart if you just cut a little bit and rip them. They do kind of come off quite easy. So we'll do that. Okay, and so you've got a flat piece like that, and we're just going to cut all the sides off. It's quite good as well. You can just kind of break all the sides, so all you're left with cutting, just like that, all you're left with cutting is just the paper in the middle, so it makes it a lot easier for you. So I'm going to cut all these sides off just like this. So in terms of lids, so we've got our 4 lids. One of them has all the sides cut off, so it's just the flat middle bit, and then 2 have the sides taken off just like that. Sorry, have the 2 front sides taken off just like that. And then you've got one that's just still complete and just looks like normal. So the next thing you want to do is, if you want to cover it in fabric like mine, so you've got all the fabric around the sides, is find a nice piece of material. So I decided to use some dresses that I don't wear anymore, but I really like the material on. So I have used all this dress material up. I can't really use any of the other parts of it, so I'm going to use another dress. Okay, so this part of the job you need a stapler and some super glue and a nice piece of fabric. So I've got this one from an old dress that I don't wear anymore. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just kind of, woo, I dropped my stapler. It's just kind of like a nice stripy fabric. So here we go. So I'm going to get one of the sides, which looks like this. And what I'm going to do is super glue on the top of it, but not very much, because the fabric, it will just go straight through the fabric and then you'll be in a bit of a mess. So it's just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. So I don't know how easy this is going to be to show you, but I'm going to try my best. Ugh, this stuff is messy and sticky. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little zigzag all the way around. It is really just to keep it in place while you're stapling it. So just a little bit, if you can see the glue on there, and then you just kind of want to spread it out so it doesn't just go into blobs everywhere. There we go. So graceful. Okay, so next I've got this piece with the glue on it and I've got my fabric. I am going to just place the fabric over the top. I'm going to try and do this so you can see it, but it's probably going to be quite hard to do, and you might not be able to see it very well. So just want to, ooh, this isn't easy. I'm so used to doing this on a table. Okay, so you just want to keep it nice and flat. I haven't ironed my piece of fabric, so it is slightly wrinkly. But there we go. So that doesn't look very good at the moment, but it looks better in real life, I promise. So next, what you do is you just need to show you like that. You just need to fold all the sides in on themselves. So just to show you again, you've just glued your fabric on and you can kind of pull it a little bit to make it a bit more flat. You can do that. And then you just want enough material so that you've got enough just to cover the sides, but you don't need too much. So that's probably enough. Okay, so next what you do is fold the fabric over the corner. So I've just folded it over like that. And then get your staple, which I threw on the floor earlier on. Ooh, there we go. And you just want to staple it, but it needs to be quite neat, because obviously you're going to see the staples. Okay, so you can hardly see the staples really, but they are going to be noticeable, so it needs to be quite neat. And I'm just going to do the other side, so you need to do that with all the other sides. Okay, so now I have something that looks a little bit like this. It's a little bit messy inside, but don't worry too much about it because you're not going to see it, because the drawers are going to cover it. Just to show you, because I did this the first time and I just want to show you, if you have done this then don't worry too much about it. I haven't quite given myself enough material on this side to quite go over the fabric onto the other side like I have on these sides. So all you need to make sure is that this is the side that is covered with the top bit or the bottom, whichever way you're going to put it round. But then you won't be able to see that. So there you go. I'm going to make the other one of these. Okay, so now I have my two sides with one of the sides cut out of each of them, and they're both covered in fabric, just like that. So now I'm going to move on to this one and cover this in fabric as well. You don't have to cover this in fabric if you're not going to have kind of like the lid that's open on the top. If you're going to have the lid that's open on the bottom, then you need this covered because this is going to be your top with your fabric on. Okay, so now I've got all three sides done. Well, lids, sorry. I've got this one covered, which was just the flat one. And then I've got the two side lids covered. And now we're ready to assemble the piece. Are you excited? First, what we need to do is glue these bits to this bit. We need these two bits to be like this so that they're facing you forwards. So I'm going to turn them around now. And you just basically need the flat piece to go in the middle of them both. Just like this. So it will be like that. I'm not going to be able to show you me gluing them, but basically all I'm going to do is add a little bit of glue there and on the side of this piece, and then I'm just going to fit them together, and then you're going to have to leave them for quite a while. Okay, so I've stuck the sides onto the flat centerpiece that we did before, and I've stuck the top on as well, and I just used a bit of super glue everywhere that this part met that part, obviously everywhere you want to stick it. And so I now have something like this. So I've got the sides and the top, and well, I was going to use that as the top actually, wasn't I? And then you've got the bottom as well. So it's all coming together, how exciting. To get it to dry, what I did to make sure it had its shape is I put all the drawers in ready. So I put all the Glossybox drawers in ready. So just like that. Ugh. God, I can't do this with one hand. There we go. And there's another one normally in the top. So that just keeps its shape. I put quite a heavy few books on the top as well, just to keep it all pressed down so it stayed. And I left that for a couple of hours. Okay, so I'm now going to show you how to make the bows that I have on each drawer with the little button detail on them. So all you need for that is a Glossybox ribbon that you get with every Glossybox, and some buttons, so that's pretty self-explanatory. You can either get them from, if you do it with an old dress, you can get the buttons off the dress, or I've just bought these from a little craft shop. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make bows now. So I've just got a Glossybox ribbon. I used to be a florist, so I have learnt this technique from being a florist, and I'm going to try and show you how to do it. But basically, you just take your ribbon like this. You make a loop with it, just like that, and then you make another loop that side, so you're left with something like that with two loops, and then you're just going to do the same again. So you're going to make, let me see if I can do this like this way, you're going to make another loop at the bottom there and turn it round, make another loop at the other side at the top. Make sure all the loops are even so it looks a little bit like a butterfly, all crossed over, and then you're going to snip the end. So we'll just snip it here, even them up. So with this, now you've got your little cross like that, you're going to pinch it up a little bit. Ooh, if I can do it. So it looks a bit more like that. So it's just pinched in the middle. And then with a ribbon, the rest of the ribbon, just go round the middle and tie it in a knot. There we go. So now you have a little bow like this. So now with my super glue, I'm just going to stick the bows onto the middle of each box. It's best to do this by putting all the boxes into this part that you've made, just so you don't need to worry about them drying, because the bows are quite heavy, so when the glue's wet, the bows might drop off. So if you lie it on its side with all the boxes in, then it's not going to drop. So I'm going to put all my boxes in now. Okay, so I've got all my boxes in like that, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue on my bow. So I'm just going to put, see if I can do this way. I'm just going to put a blob of glue in the middle. Make sure it's the middle. Ooh. There we go. I'll just put a blob of glue right in the middle there and stick my bow on. Just like that. Sorry, it's right in the corner. There we go. And then I'm going to, sorry, just get that the right way around. See what I mean? It drops right down as soon as you put it on because the glue's wet still. So then I'm going to stick my little button in the middle, but I'm going to do that with it lying on its side just because it is going to drop off. So I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to show you that little bit. So obviously I need to do that with the other two and wait for them to dry, and then my glossy box is ready. So all in all, with the other two buttons on, sorry, I'm really trying to make sure this doesn't drop off, I have another lovely glossy box. Okay, so once I put all the bows on, it will look a lot more like this. And lovely and pretty it is as well. And there's the top. So I'm really happy with these. I think it looks a lot better than the stack of boxes that I had before. And I'm really, really happy with it. I'm going to store all my makeup in it on my dressing table, so it's going to look lovely. Thank you very much for watching.